So this is going to be the beginning of an installment of a bunch of examples of problems where you are working backward. They give you some information you have to work backward to solve for a missing side or volume or something like that. So a couple tips for working backward. First tip is make sure you draw a picture. So draw an appropriate picture for what the situation is giving you. Second tip, draw a picture. I'm serious. You have to draw a picture. It is very, very important that you draw a picture. Without a picture, you're not going to be successful here. Okay, part 3, once you get that picture drawn, label it with the given information. Part 4, write down the formula for the information known. So if they tell you what the surface area is, write down the surface area formula. And then you'll plug stuff into that. So you solve for the unknown, you put the things into that formula that you wrote down, and then whatever is missing, you solve for that unknown value. Step 6, if you need to use new information found to answer any additional questions, what that means is now that you found those unknown values, maybe it says, rather than saying solve for the height, it says find the volume. But in order to find the volume, you have to get the height. So this is kind of saying, make sure you go back and read the question, answer the question accordingly. All right? So it's obviously very important that we draw a picture, label the picture, and then the next step is the one that people really struggle with. Write down the formula of what you know, because then you can work backward from there. Okay, so these 6 steps are very important. I'd highly encourage you to pause the video, write these down. Okay, so it says the volume of a right rectangular prism is 240 centimeters, and that should be cubed. That's a little mistype there. Volume is units cubed. It says the dimensions of the base are 6 by 4. What is the surface area of the prism? So it tells me that, and I have a picture drawn here, it says the base, the dimensions are 6 by 4, and it wants to know what's the surface area. So we don't know what the height is. I'll just kind of call that x. Okay, so another picture that might be fitting is a net, and you can kind of see that I have one here. So let's label this thing. This thing is going to be 6 by 4 on the bottom, so 6 here and 4 here. So that means that this is also 6 and this is also 4. So that tells us this is 4, 4, and 6. Okay, it tells us that the volume, so the next step was write down the formula for what you know. The volume is the area of the base times the height. Okay, so the area of the base in this case is going to be 24, 6 times 4. So we're going to go 24 times the height. We don't know what the height is, but you know what? We know what the volume is. The volume is 240 centimeters cubed. So to figure out the height, I'm going to divide, because we're multiplying, the opposite of multiplying is divide. We'll divide by 24. I'm running out of room here. 240 divided by 24 is 10. So I wrote down the formula of what I knew. I plugged in what I knew. I knew the volume and I knew the area of the base, so I figured that out. Now I figured out the height, and now I have everything I need to answer the question, what is the surface area? So the surface area is when we add up the area of all the parts. This is 24. This one also here, this one up here is also going to be 24. It's 6 by 4 as well. This is 10 times 4, that's 40. This is 10 times 6, that's 60. This is 10 times 4, 40. And 10 times 6, 60. So, surface area, we add up all 6 of these numbers. 24 plus 40 plus 60 plus 40 plus 60 plus 24. And we shouldn't need a calculator here. 40 plus 60, that's 100. Another 100. And then 24 plus 24 is 48. So we get 248 centimeters squared. And there you have it. So don't forget these steps. Next time you're working backward on a problem, these are very vital. Draw a picture. Seriously, draw the picture. Label the picture. Write down the formula for what you know. Solve for what you don't know. And then once you have that information, answer the question if you haven't done so already. Alright, so that's one example. The next video will be on something a little bit different.